So welcome. Thank you so much for making time, Casey. I appreciate it, and it's so wonderful to hear and see your hear your voice and see your photo per se. And appreciate you making the time for this little podcast. So just a briefing on it. It's basically we're looking to expel any myths about entrepreneurship and really shed a light of these amazing entrepreneurs that I've been lucky to work with over the last 2-3 decades all over the world. And hopefully it'll shed a light for aspiring entrepreneurs to find ways to leverage what they have to move forward with what they got. So with that, if you want to tell them a little bit about you and what you've done, and then you could keep going with what you were telling me earlier. So please.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so very much for having me. I have had a practice now for 15 years. I began with power plate training. So I was working with clients who had Parkinson's and muscular sclerosis, and other neurological issues. I was the first power plate training studio here in Michigan. I did become a master trainer, so I went to Chicago to the Performance Health System studio many times to make sure that I was able to train and work with people with debilitating issues in order to help provide them strength to their muscular skeletal system as well as their bones. That evolved into studying integrative medicine. So I became a NAMA approved, which stands for the National Ayurvedic Medical Association, approved board certified Ayurvedic practitioner. So I started a lot of holistic techniques, massage therapies, herbs, rasayanas, which just means to rejuvenate the body. And I have been servicing clients here, not only in the Metro Detroit area, but as well as international. So I have clients in Australia, I have clients in Europe, I have clients in South Africa, Mexico, and as well as Canada, and then throughout the States. I recently had the opportunity to work with the Yoga Veda Institute. I was teaching clinicals for them and handling a lot of their scholarships for students who, who were low income, who maybe were not able to have Ayurvedic education in whether they were living internationally or in rural areas. So I had this amazing opportunity to join up with Yoga Veda. They were a startup company, and I was able to use my entrepreneurial skills to help build up the school and build relationships. I was very fortunate to continue to have my practice here in Michigan. I was seeing clients out of my house. Most of them have been with me for about 15 years. I also created a business program to help entrepreneurs who wanted to start integrative medicine type practices, whether it was coaching for addictions, personal training, but personal training using alternative therapies. And I love working with entrepreneurs. I think it's so fun to see their vision and to really watch them grow and succeed. It's just such a beautiful profession. I think that when people are really doing what they love to do, it shows personally, mentally, physically, and they're really doing what they were, meant to do and enjoy doing it.
Wow, Casey. I mean, we could obviously clearly keep you talking for the next few minutes, and I think everybody will just be enjoying the stories that you're sharing. So just a backup for a couple of things. So, and we should probably talk about further of how we can keep you engaged in mentoring other entrepreneurs, because there are all kinds of ways, as you know, to keep that going. Just walk me through. So, why did you start what you're doing? What was the opportunity per se, or the problem that you saw at the time, or the opportunity that you saw that you wanted to provide? And what kind of good days you had, what kind of bad days you had through the journey as you started it?
I started the journey because I think that alternative therapies and alternative medicine is definitely the new wave. I love Western medicine. I think Western medicine is beautiful. We have so many luxuries with Western medicine But when we think about alternative therapies, they're really preventative ways that we can live. Healthy eating, herbs, massage techniques, meditation, yoga, they're just so beneficial to the body and the mind. So when I wanted to start my business, that was really what I was trying to encompass, was a healthier way of living. And of course, all entrepreneurs, you have good days, like you said, you have bad days. I think my good days were because I even for clients who I haven't seen in years, I still consider them like clients. They're like family to me. That I have the most amazing clientele. They supported me. I was able to learn a lot by trying things and seeing what their successes or maybe mishaps were, in order to be able to provide my knowledge and experience in using these techniques on future clients. So every day I'm very grateful that I have these clients in my life, and a lot of them, they supported me. They recommended me to their friends, to their families, to their coworkers. And I have been very fortunate to build a business on word of mouth. And then when you do have bad days, I think you just kind of take a step back and say, hey, how can I fix this? What am I learning from this? What do I need to change? As an entrepreneur, you grow and you change every day. It's all about change. It's all about, moving into the next chapter of your life. And as you are, growing and evolving, your business is growing and evolving. Your clients are growing and evolving. And what you had started with maybe, 5-10 years ago, you have now even grown into either a better entrepreneur, a better business person. You have educated yourself, maybe through books, maybe through experience, but you are constantly growing and changing. So even if you have good days and bad days, they're all beautiful days, and they're all part of your growth, both professionally, and then personally, excuse me.
That's great. And Casey, how long have you been doing this for?
15 years.
Wow. That's amazing.
I love
That's
it.
amazing.
I love every minute of it.
And I talk to lots of entrepreneurs who say, international seems so far and I can't ever do it. How did you get to be international? What did you do that could maybe help others to see what can be done?
I think sometimes when people have their businesses locally, they're afraid to branch out to other states. And then I think once they kind of start to branch out, maybe in their region to other states, they kind of get stuck in how we do things here in the States. And they're afraid to take that next step to work with people internationally. But at the end of the day, a client is a client, and customer service is customer service. People are coming to you with a problem, with a need, wanting your services. And, you have to treat them just as if you were treating, a client who lives down the block or who's in the next neighborhood. I know sometimes people are afraid of language barriers, but ideally, when two people are really meant to work together, you will find a way to, make the connection. They have like Google Translate now, WhatsApp. There's so many ways for people to connect internationally, that I think that people just really need to take a step outside of that box and just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to work with somebody in Europe, in Africa, in Asia. And then once, you start to build these relationships here, then it just makes everything so much easier, for you to connect with people in other countries.
Very cool. That's great. Well, congratulations on such a wonderful, cool story.
Thank you.
And what's next for you, Casey? I mean, what are you envisioning? What's going to happen next? To where are you going with this?
So I think I just wanted to continue to, spread the word about integrative medicine. One thing that is definitely on my bucket list is I would love to start a nonprofit to help small business owners. there's so many programs for business owners, but I sometimes think that they just don't know where to find the resources. Um, and when I say businesses, I mean more of the one-on-one coaches, practitioners, personal trainers, therapists. I think to really start something for them and to help them succeed in their path. Because a lot of times when you have these programs for businesses, they're looking at like manufacturing and trucking and companies that have like 25 to 50 employees. And I think they sometimes forget about just like the one-man operation and all of the wonderful services that they can provide.
Love it. No, I agree. I think there's such a big demand. We should probably explore that together to leverage what we have already built throughout the years. So there'll be another conversation maybe. And there are some, the good news is there are some, places like that, as you know, Casey, like SPDC and things, but to your point, they're limited and they're, usually one is serving 500 companies. So you're lucky if you get a call every 3 months or 4 months or so on and so forth. So, they're definitely an opportunity to provide more services to the community. That's fabulous to hear that you want to do that. Great.
Thank you.
No, just so I could keep this conversation, maybe we will stay talking, but just for the sake of the Finjan Show per se, what would be one word that you would leave behind for an aspiring entrepreneur today?
You have some. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'll ask you one more question after that.
This is my favorite quote. I quote this all the time, that as an entrepreneur, you have so many tools in your toolbox and use them. Don't be afraid of them. You are gifted with them and they're meant for you to use, and just don't be afraid of it.
That's awesome, Casey. That's really cool. I like that. I might have to use that. Casey, with COVID, can you help people understand? We all have speed bumps. Maybe it wasn't the speed bumps. Actually, I'm talking to some that saw an increase last year, some that saw a decrease. I'm not sure where are you in the spectacle of things per se with that. But what did COVID made you rethink your business model? What did happen, and where are you at with it now?
So I have actually had a wonderful experience with COVID, both in my own practice and working with the school. We had a lot of people who were looking for alternative therapies because they were not able to connect with their Western medicine doctor, and to provide, some herbs to help bump up their immune system. Vitamin C is huge. It's so great for the body. Vitamin D. But I was really able to connect with these clients and explain to them why you want to really take it and how it's going to help your immune system. And then a lot of the students that we had, they were let go from their companies. Some of them were receiving unemployment, and we were able to provide scholarships for these students to learn integrative medicine. And it really helped with enrollment. We were able to provide partial scholarships to full scholarships. We created a business program to help students get some of their businesses going. I helped students relook at things that they were doing in their business and how to shift direction from maybe having an actual storefront location to fully moving and having their practice online. So it really was a profitable year. And, I know a lot of businesses did struggle, but I was very grateful. It taught me a lot. I saw, revenues increase. I was able to shift very easily from, seeing patients in my house to moving it to virtual, and then back into my house, teaching clinicals on site to be able to teach them online. So it was great. I actually can say that I think it helped a lot of businesses grow, because looking at it from now moving to working with people from your home, it has helped, people's stress levels. They're not commuting. They're able to spend more time with their family and their children. They're working a schedule that may accommodate their life better. So I actually saw the benefits of COVID. Faris,
well, I mean, that's,
do-
no, I'm here. No,
Okay.
that's how it works, right? Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, right? It's just a journey that you're going to continue to take. And
Mhm.
sometimes the wind is blowing your way while it's maybe blowing someone else's off. It's blowing your way in a positive way. So it's all good. I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you so much. And I'm going to stop the recording just for the sake of stopping the recording, but we can continue to catch up.
Okay.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Casey, for making such time for
Thank
this, and
you. Thank you.
appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.